Alright, good evening everyone, and welcome back to the Midwest F1 League. This is going to be Division 2 here tonight, and we are in Round 6 in Bahrain International Circuit at Sakir in Bahrain. It is a beautiful circuit. It has 15 turns. We're going to be riding it under the floodlights at nighttime to reduce the temperature of the track and make the racing much better on these tires here tonight. As I said, it's a 15-turn track. There's 5.4 kilometers in total length, and we're going to be doing 29 laps here tonight for a 50% race distance. That's going to bring us to 156 kilometers in total, so quite a nice distance of racing. Quite a few drivers already out on track, so welcome everyone if you're watching. My name is BLIN-MACHINE, and I usually would be commentating on Division 3 in this league, but for tonight I am here joined up by Hotspot, who would be normally in this main seat. But thank you so much for having me, Hotspot. Welcome again, and yeah, thank you so much for having me over in Division 2.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Now that we've got two commentaries and we can actually do this live, it's going to be a really different experience, but a better one at that. As we've already had a couple cars go off. We've had Best Pawns who I think made contact with the wall going through Sector 1, and then we had Knuckles on his outlap go off. So the Bahrain International Circuit, it's a really like fast, high-paced circuit. But the thing is, though, it's one of those tracks that it actually reminds me a lot of like Austria, where it's like if you don't hit your corners properly, your whole lap time could be absolutely nuts. Specifically going into that tight left-hander of turn 10, as Alfa apparently has retired from the session, or at least that's just what it says. JC's just set the fastest lap with a 127.9. But as I was saying, yeah, you really need to hit these corners really well, especially that turn 10. The 3 DRS zone here makes for a lot of overtaking and stuff like that, but I think this first corner is going to be an absolute mess going into the race, as it usually typically is. It's a very tight right-hander, and then 1 through 2, which is a good little transition, and then 3, which is the DRS zone, as we got Forza Juve, who's gone off. But as I say that, we've actually got a couple notes for this race. We've got Forza Juve, as I was about to introduce. He is filled in for Kaz this week in the Haas seat. Knuckles is filling in the Alfa Romeo of OG Northerner, who, by the way, happy birthday to OG Northerner. And then finally, the Red Bull seat of Feeman is going to be filled by Adeltonian tonight, who you recognize from Division 3. But this is just an interesting point about the Red Bull seat. I mean, Feeman last week didn't even race, and so Red Bull was only scoring the points of JC Blackley. But it was only 19 cars in the field, though. JC did win that race. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird, especially, I mean, Feeman's about 14th in points right now. He's got not too far behind. I mean, there's only about a 4-point gap between him and 10th anyways. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get back to the 2 very shortly. As, we've got the Razor guy who's just jumped up onto the Division pole currently.
Yeah, I think...
Not too far behind. Superness and Renault also not behind as well, though he's just going off track, it seems. He's a bit slow.
Yeah, already a lot going on just in the very opening stages of qualifying here tonight. I'm just watching as Torro just started a hot lap here, and he's just about to finish Sector 1 going into Turn 4 and into the wiggly part of Turn 5, 6, and 7. And that's a purple sector actually from Torro. That is pretty impressive. He's keeping it nice and smooth, rotating that wheel really nicely there around turn 8, but as you said earlier, he's just about to come into that really tricky left-hander hairpin of turn 10, getting a really nice run through there. Look at that, opening up the DRS right now and full on the gas all the way down into turn 11. This is one of my favorite corners on all F1 circuits, the combination of turn 11, 12, and 13. When you chuck in the car into turn 13 at the very end of that combination, it really feels good when it sticks, and then you get that full run all the way down into turn 14 and 15 at the end of the circuit. You mentioned turn 10 is tricky. Honestly, for me, this corner coming up right here, 14 and 15, those are very tricky. You get excited when you get a really nice run all the way down to the end of the track, and then you mess it up in the last 2 corners. Tether there puts himself in 7th place with a 128.050. A little bit of mix of tires going on in the top 10 right now. We've got a couple of people trying to slide in there into the top 10 on medium tires. Now, Hotspot, what would you say would be the ultimate strategy here tonight? Would you be trying to qualify on the medium tire at all?
Well, see, this is the thing. I mean, tire strategy is going to play into the race a lot as it normally does, though. I think that I think strategy really gets thrown out the window a lot once you throw safety cars in the mix. As we've got one of the Mercedes coming out. I believe that is Freeman. No, that's Detail coming out. But assuming that the race stays clean and we actually don't get any safety cars, it's just going to be that strategy is going to be a lot. It's just going to be really important. I do think I would stick with the softs at the moment, just because of that gap between soft and medium tires is a lot, especially for this circuit. But I want to go back to your point, just talking about the corners. That turn 12. Personally, for me, I struggle with it a lot because what happens is that some drivers will really like to gas that corner, but if you catch the right-hand side of the track into the curb, you will spin. It actually reminds me a lot of Hungaroring in that respect, where if you get onto that curb just a little bit, you're gonna go around. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at as something's happening here. No, Jimbo fishing on his outlap, and Freeman's just gone off right in front of him, coming out of turn 1. He's managed to not collect anybody either, so good for them. But yeah, I mean, this track is really fun. It's high paced. There's a lot of just like little tedious things they really have to nail if you want to get the best lap times, which at the moment belongs to Razor Guy with Jimbo fishing about 4/10 of a second behind now. Jimbo is one of those people who don't really kick in the best laps until later in the qualifying session.
Oh yeah.
But right now he's found himself up in the second, as we got Supernatus and Renault currently sitting third, which that is a really good result, especially for them. I mean, Renault currently sitting, I believe, 6th in the constructor standing, as Supernatus himself sits also 6th in the drivers' championships. That would be a result that the Renault team will really enjoy if they can qualify this high and then get themselves into the top 10 position. Because they're one of that team. They're one of those teams this season that have been starting really good, and that was some unfortunate mistake happens, and they end up really just like losing their whole night. As someone has gone off over at turn 10. Maybe that's just Knuckles getting out of the way of the leaders as he's going to have.
And F1 get it to win it, locking up into turn 10. They're almost losing the car a little bit wide, but managing to catch it together. He's actually put in a purple first sector. He's about to do that tricky corner combination that we were just talking about, and that will finish out the second sector. I just want to see what sort of time he's going to be able to get here. It is not purple, but it is 1.39 seconds faster than his previous attempt. So he's definitely on a really, really good lap here right now. We've still got 8 minutes to go in qualifying, so I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of action. Knuckles was just disqualified from the session. That is very interesting.
That's interesting. I was just watching him. I couldn't...
and get it to win it. Sorry, I'm just going to mention, goes to pole, 125.8. Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, I think he was just trying to let the leaders go by, because he was out of his outlaps. And I don't know if that is purposely happened or not, but yeah, no, that is a very strange disqualification. As Jenna, yeah, I mean, Jenna's one of those drivers. It takes him just a little bit in the qualifying session to get accustomed to the track, but then when he does, he absolutely shoots to the top of the leaderboard. I assume this will be one of the drivers that makes the transition into Division 1, probably next season, as well, because he is on fire recently. Winning his debut race full-time for Ferrari, not to mention the second place in Monaco as reserve. And then last week was a little bit tough for him, especially with the penalty on the last lap. But yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's already shot up to 4th in the drivers' standings. 10-point break, who JC has had a little bit of an interesting past couple days. He's broken a part of his arm, and so he's going to be racing.
Oh no!
Crippled. So that's kind of affecting him a little bit, though he is going to try to tough this race out.
Wow, that is definitely that's going to be very tough, and I commend him for doing that. That is definitely dedication to the sport and to the league. So great job on doing that. Hopefully he does well here tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, now 6.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I'm looking at F1 Get It to Win It, who just got into the pole position. Quite a nice gap between himself and his teammate. We also just saw on screen there the Razor guy just a few moments ago. His teammate was trying to go for a really nice and fast lap, but unfortunately spun off at the exit of turn 4, and had to abort that one. So still a little bit of time to go. I'm sure he'll go for another try, but it looks like the Ferrari guys are just absolutely pushing for it here tonight. They are putting in some really quick times in qualifying. Of course, it's a race. Anything can happen. It's a long race, 29 laps around here. It's pretty tough. You got to stay concentrated. And also, I keep on saying this, but Bahrain, you know, your strategy, it could decide everything. Those guys that are starting on the softs, I feel like they have a lot more options when they get to their pit times. But those who are going to start on the medium, those are going to be in a tough place, because from a medium you could possibly stretch it with a one stop to go on a hard tire, but you know, then you're not going to be very quick. So it's going to be this balance that they're going to have to play off on. You said in your case you would be starting on the soft tire, and it looks like most of the people are going to be going for that, except for JC, who's still really pushing for it on the medium. We'll see how that works out for him at the end of things, but not too many drivers on track right now. It looks like the two Renaults are getting ready for another hot lap here in just a second, or the Best Pons is about to finish his hot lap. Let's see what sort of time he's going to post here. He opens up the DRS and comes to the line here, and he stays ninth with a 127.7, so quite big gap between you know, first place and even down to about 6th or 7th place, almost 2 seconds between them. Do you think we're going to see that gap close up even more?
You know, I don't think qualifying position. I think if you're within the top 6 right now, you're gonna have a good spot. Especially, I mean, I'm really the only person that kind of brings this into play. But if you're gonna be starting on the right hand side of the grid, you're gonna have a big advantage going into the first corner, just because you got that inside line, and ultimately you're gonna have the best run going out of turn 3. So I think if you're anywhere within the top 6, I think you're gonna be pretty happy with your result right now. It may still close up, though. You got to think these tires. Bring it back to JC Blackley. JC, as we've seen, is one of those drivers who will really try to push his tire strategy. I remember at France, he pushed the mediums, I think, almost about 15 laps, and almost made it work. So I think there's a method to his madness, certainly, when it comes to the tire strategy, as he is still the only person on the medium tires. So, which actually worked out for him in that race, because he ended up in the podium. So we'll be keeping an eye on him personally, as we've got Forza Juve, the reserve driver for Haas team, currently found himself in 4th. That'll be, I believe, Haas's best qualifying result of the year, if it stays that way. Currently a Ferrari lockout, which there's been a couple signs of that recently. I think the Ferrari team, especially since the start of the season, have really found their groove and are starting to really put a challenge to the top 2 teams of McLaren and Williams. They are still 4 points behind Red Bull, so they could possibly be overtaking that this week. As I believe we got details going to be coming out for his time lap as well. But I mean, this Constructors Championship standings right now, very, very closely contested between positions. I mean, the top 3 are pretty close contested. Ferrari's got a little bit more of a gap, but there's no real. I don't want to say there's no favorites yet, but it's certainly too close to call, even now, 1/3 of the way through the season.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this season so far has been very, very close together. It's been very tight on points between a lot of people at the top there, as you mentioned, and some of the people who came over from Division 3, like especially getting to win it, already sitting in 4th place with 78 points to his name after, 2 races that he's been in this division. So that is absolutely, or I think 3 races, but that is absolutely incredible. I mean, that sort of performance is really what you want to see, and that sort of gap between drivers, that's what brings competitiveness into this game and into league racing. So absolutely incredible so far. Since you mentioned the standings, I guess I'll go over the standings that we've got so far right now in the championship. So after 5 rounds, it is Scavney 720 who is leading with 103 points. Sadistic King in second with 98. we have JC Blackley in third place with 88 points. So again, the gap between first, second, and third isn't really that big. It's only one race win, so that could change things quite a bit. Getting it to win in fourth place with 78 points. Jimbo Fishing in fifth with 63. Super Ninjas in sixth place with 53 points. Domingos in seventh with 50 points. And Saffron City in eighth with 47. Kaz FSJ in ninth with 38 points. And the Best Pawns in 10th place with 36 points to round up the top 10. In terms of the constructors, McLaren F1 153 points at the top in first place. Williams F1 chasing them down with 145 points in second. Red Bull Racing in third with 120. Ferrari with 116. AlphaTauri 98. Renault 89. Haas 82. Racing Point 74. We have Mercedes with 70, and Alfa Romeo trailing at the back a little bit at the moment in 10th place with 64 points, but still, all of those gaps between 10th and 4th, that is really not a big gap for two drivers to achieve on points. Alright, so we're pretty much down to the closing moments here. Sorry to interrupt, and I was just going to say that Get It to Win is still leading on pole right now with 125.8. Razor Guy still in second, 125.9, but Get It to Win it just started another hot lap.
Yeah, and Razor Guy, look at him, he's really close, only 3 100ths of a second behind his teammate, as he is still on a timed lap right now. This is going to be his final timed lap, as we got Super Datus in the Renault in fourth currently, Forza Juve fifth in the Haas. But I just want to bring it back to AlphaTauri. They need themselves a good weekend. They've just been absolutely, they've had the worst luck these past couple weeks. I remember Canada, Jimbo Fishing was on his way to a podium, and then I believe it was actually Best Pawns that got really loose coming out of the corner, and absolutely it made Jimbo Fishing actually DNF coming out of the final corner. But AlphaTauri's, they've had a pretty strong year to begin with, and as Razor Guy is actually going to not have a timed lap, interesting, so a Ferrari lockout on the front row. I think AlphaTauri need themselves a good weekend. They've got the potential to do it. Jimbo Fishing slowly making his way to become one of the stronger drivers in the division. His teammate Sui, I don't have too many complaints with him. I think just in a little bit times he's a little too patient with his overtaking. We saw that come into play when we were at Monaco. He lost a couple positions, and he certainly could have made up a lot more than he was attempting to. He was just waiting way too long, as Jim Twinna has set the fastest lap again, and that moves him even further up in the pole position. I believe that's going to be one of our final qualifiers, as we do have Sadistic King in the Williams. Nope, he's going to be coming into the pits now. So this pit order's pretty much how it's going to be then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, again, Get It to Win it up at the top with a 125.658, so putting 3 tenths between himself and his teammate in second place. Jimbo Fishing in third, 126.0, so about 4 tenths behind. So quite a big gap, I would say. And then Super Ninjas, he is 126.4, so almost a second, separating first and fourth place. So that just shows you that Get It to Win it and the Razor Guy and Jimbo Fishing are just, they have a little bit of extra pace here in qualifying, but we'll see how it turns out in the race. We will run through the starting grid here in just a second, but Get It to Win it is your pole sitter for the Bahrain Grand Prix in round 6 of Division 2. And as I already mentioned, Razor Guy in second, Jimbo Fishing in third, Super Ninjas in fourth, Forza Juve in fifth, Soli in sixth, Detail in 7th, Domingo in 8th, Scavney in 9th, Sadistic King in 10th, we have the Best Pawns in 11th, 12th goes to Saffron City, 13th to K-Dog, 14th to JC Blackley, 15th to Terderer, 16th in the Haas. Unfortunately, that one is not showing me the name of whoever that is. 17th, Creeman, Edeltonian in 18th, and Knuckles is going to round out the grid with that very odd disqualification that he had early in the qualifying session.
And I'm just looking at the McLaren team of Domingos and Scavney. They've almost locked out the fourth row, but they need themselves again, especially if they want to stay up top of the table right now. I just remember last week was very tough for them, especially the start of the race being in the rain, and then that strategy being thrown in, and Domingos not having a really good race whatsoever, just out of bad luck. And Domingos has been one of the more dominant drivers, especially early on in the season. I believe he went back-to-back the first 2, maybe 3 races. So yeah, I mean, he needs himself a good weekend just to get that confidence back up. His teammate Domingo's, or did I already say which one was I already forgot. But yeah, the McLaren team, they need themselves a good weekend here. The Williams team, they also need a good weekend, and I think right now they're starting to become one of the hotter teams along with Ferrari. As we have,
Yeah.
as if I remember correctly, JC is in the bottom half of the field right now, so not exactly what he wanted for that Red Bull team. And I think the battle between Williams and McLaren is getting a lot closer. And I think Williams is just starting to string together more consistent results than McLaren at the moment. So I think we could be seeing a shift in the positions very shortly within these next couple weeks for sure.
Yeah, and let's not count out Ferrari either because look at this qualifying and front row lockout. So very impressive so far. The predicted pit strategy is a two-stop, going soft to medium, soft to hard, but we don't really know if that's going to be the case because anybody could really decide to throw on an alternate strategy, or maybe a safety car might come out, so we will have to wait and see. But for everybody who's watching, thank you guys so much for joining the stream here tonight. Again, it's BLIN-MACHINE and Hotspot commentating for you for this round 6 of Division 2 in the Midwest F1 League. It has been very exciting in qualifying so far, and we're just on our formation lap right now, getting ready to start this race. So we're going to be doing, as I mentioned, 50% race distance, 29 laps. So anything could really happen in this long race. We look tire. Sadistic King managing to get into the top 10 on a medium. And then we have a little bit of a mix of strategies below that. The best pawns in 11th. And then everybody else from Saffron King down to Knuckles in 19th are all starting the medium tire. So I think this is going to be the tire strategy once, you know, stage of having to make pit stops, and how the midfield guys are going to possibly mix up with the guys who come out of the pit stop. Very interesing to see. But yeah, everybody who's watching, thank you guys so much for joining, and make sure you leave us a like, send in some comments for the race if you think anybody's going to be up there on the podium, or if you're here for tonight.
I think right now, I think Janet's in a great position. He's certainly shown the pace, and he also is one of those strategy wizards as they've been. I'm looking at JC Blackley's, I believe it was Sadistic King on the mediums, the other one on the mediums, which I can find out right now. Yeah, so Sadistic King and Saffron City. So a lot of people actually choosing the mediums on my screen at least. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to be looking at him. I'm going to be looking at Jimbo Fishing. He might actually get a really good run off the grid here, and then maybe JC down in 14th. He's usually really good with his strategy, so I'm going to be looking at him as well. This first corner is going to be, I think, a lot of shifting of positions, and we're almost ready to go.
Alright, let's get ready here for round 6 at Bahrain for this Division 2 of Midwest F1. We've got the lights going on here. 4, 5 lights are on. And the lights go off and we go racing. A good start from Get It to Win It at the front, but even better start from Super Ninja's here, who's already going for a move around the outside into turn 1 on the Razor Guy, but the Razor Guy manages to protect that position. He's still under pressure from Jimbo Fishing. A little bit of contact there with Jimbo Fishing going through turn 2, but manages to keep second position there, and Jimbo Fishing already putting on some serious pressure. So is Sai on Super Ninjas right behind them. They're trying to close up that gap. A couple of position changes further back down the field, but we're going to catch up on those in just a minute. Scavney and the Best Pawns are battling together as well, but the Best Pawns manages to keep on to 8th position, going a little bit wide there on the next couple of corners, and here comes Scavney again down the inside of turn 8. Oh, a little bit of a touching there. I'm not sure if Scavney or the Best Pawns got any damage. Doesn't look like it, but wow, what an exciting start here. A lot of battling going on in the midfield, and the guys at the front are keeping nice and close to each other. Hotspot, did you notice anything we missed?
Forza Juve had almost the start of his life, so he's currently sitting in 4th, but he actually went 3 wide, I believe, with Jimbo Fishing on the left side, himself in the middle, and I believe Razor Guy was on the right-hand side, so some contact there. But Forza Juve's had a good start to keep the position. He's got Super Ninus behind him, starting to close in, and I believe once the DRS becomes a factor, Super Ninus might be making a move here. No, he's going to keep it. kind of conservative at the moment, but maybe he can get it going into turn 1. Jin to win it had a little bit of a tricky start, had the lockup going into turn 1. Razor guy didn't have the best start whatsoever. I thought Jimbo was going to overtake him as, what's happened here? I believe Forza Juve.
Oh, Forza
Juve's gone really wide. What's happened there?
He just looked like he locked up and missed his braking zone through turn 1, and that moved Super Ninjas up a position. That looks like it's going to be 4th place for him now. I know the graphics on screen are a little bit messed up. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like somebody's off. Is it Sadistic King? It is Sadistic King. Oh, and he's missing his front wing as well. We sort of missed what happened there, but he's missing a big chunk on both sides of his front wing. He's got gravel on the tires, and he's down in 19th place, right at the back of everything. Tether is already in the pits as well. Again, my graphic is a little bit messed up right now. It's showing his Tether is number 1, but it's actually Ginnett still leading the race. Razor, a guy still in 2nd, but he's really under pressure from Jimbo Fishing. And remember, we're gonna have DRS enabled here on the next lap, so that's gonna throw a little bit of spice into the race here and make overtaking a lot easier. So let's wait for all of that action to happen here in just a few moments. I'm hoping the graphic will fix itself here in just a second as well. There we go. So Super Ninjas moved himself up into 4th, and look at that gap between himself and the AlphaTauri in 5th place. Exoi, that's 2 seconds between them.
And Domingos has been putting a lot of pressure on Sweet recently, though I want to say Sadistic King, something happened to him at the exit of turn 2 as he just went straight left hand into the left-hand wall. So I have actually no idea what's happening there, as Domingos can be putting a move on Sweet as they exit turn 1. Might get him this time by with the DRS. Oh, he's got a bit loose coming out of exit of turn 2, and he's completely lost all his progress that he made as Forza Juve overtaking Scavney. Forza Juve right now. Oh, and Domingos has gotten into the back of Sweet, and Domingos going around at the exit of 4. And Forza Juve has found himself back up into 5th.
And the 2 McLarens battling now, and also the Best Pawns, the Renault of Best Pawns is joining up in this battle as well as they're coming into turn 8. Oh my goodness, this is turning out to be very, very aggressive right on lap 3. We've still got 26 laps to go.
Yeah, and this has been a very good and pretty clean start. I'd say no safety car immediately, so this is going to be one of those races that you determine on with safety cars, or not safety cars, on pit strategies, as we haven't had a safety car yet. Forza Juve has had a very up and down start, but he's found himself back up into 5th. Super Ninjas and Renault is actually doing a solid job right now, keeping his position. He's not under any pressure anymore. In fact, he's put about 4 seconds back on Forza Juve. Somebody went off there in sector 2.
Yeah, I think that was Tether just had a moment there, but he's back on track now. But I wanted to mention Scavney 720. I've seen him in the first opening 3 laps. He's had a couple of moments where it looked like he was just about to lose the car completely, especially at the exit of turn 2 and 3 there. But he's just still managing to keep position, which is absolutely incredible. You've seen these guys race for a little bit longer than I have. How is Scavney usually? How does he do in races?
Scavney is one of those drivers that does really well. He's one of those drivers, you get him towards the front of the grid like he is now. Though I think if he started a little bit up further, it would have helped him more. But I think once he gets into traffic, his best Pawns is just going around at the exit of 4, losing the position to Domingos, and then one to Detail. The Mercedes Bucks. Yeah, he's one of the drivers that does really good, though I think faces a lot of pressure in traffic, and usually ends up on the wrong end of it. Usually someone hitting him in some way or another, as we saw last week at Austria. Had a very tough week. So yeah, he's one of those drivers, very quick, very good, talented. But once he gets into traffic, he finds a little bit of trouble. As we got this top 10 is really starting to get dispersed now. We've got Detail and Mercedes. Domingos has had quite a lockup going through turn 11 as they head up into turn 12. Let's see if Detail, let's see if Detail can get a good result here, as Mercedes need a really solid result. They haven't had too many people within the top 15, never mind the top 10, over the season so far, so we're going to be keeping an eye on him. As we also got Best Pawns making this a 3-car battle for 7th place.
Oh, it's more than just 3 cars here, as I'm watching JC Blackley moving up a position, or trying to move up a position on XOE, but not making it work there. He's got the DRS, he was using his overtake, he's down to 5%. so not really anything else it can do. But this is now turning out to be a 5-car train of DRSing, because everybody all the way down from who is it, Forza down to or no, sorry, from Detail down to JC, they're all in this virtual safety car. What just happened? Tether had just retired.
Terra is just, I think he stopped over in sector sector 3 over in turn 13. I don't know if he's made contact with the wall or not, but I remember him and Sadistic King were kind of close together. I'm going to go wide on Sadistic King. He doesn't have any front wing damage, so I think he might be safe there, but I'm really not sure what just happened to... I think he could have just gotten loose off a corner. Sadistic King is going to be coming into the pits now as I say that.
Wow. Yeah, so...
I couldn't tell you. It's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I think he just, it looks like he lost it on the exit of turn 13 there. That's where his car was showing him on the map. So I know it's a tricky corner. You come in there at quite a bit of speed, and if you touch that inside curb or the outside curb, sometimes it can spit you out on the other side, and that possibly might have been what happened there. But that is our first DNF of the night. Tear the Tear becomes DNF number 1 in 19th place, and we are back to green flag racing here once again. Jimbo has a great restart right on the back of the Razor guy. He's got the DRS enabled as well, and he is going to be making a move here definitely before turn 1. It looks like, yeah, Razor guy moves to the inside to defend. Jimbo goes to the outside. Razor guy is going to try and overtake him on the braking, but not quite making it work there. Jimbo is moving himself up into second position, but now the tables have turned, because now Razor is going to have the DRS into the rundown into turn 4, and he's going to go down the inside into turn 4, and he goes a little bit wide. Jimbo comes back at him around the outside, but not going to make it work on that particular occasion, unfortunately. So that looks like Razor guy, after all of that, is going to hold on to second position for now. Ferrari holding on to first and second. Get it to win it though, pulling out almost 4 seconds already on the Razor guy. So he's doing a great job here, and definitely showing that he's got some great pace here tonight.
And we've just entered the 2-stop strategy. When people enter the hards, people putting on the hards between laps 6 and 8. So I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see who takes this pit strategy this time by. So that's surely going to mix things up. Jimbo's been putting a lot of pressure on Razor guy, which is good to see. We make it a little bit wide there. Jada to win it. I mean, might as well give him a paper to read. He's put 4 seconds on him already, but that virtual safety car is exactly what Jimbo needed to get back into this fight. Super Ninus and the Renault behind them, just over a second behind. I don't think he's going to have the DRS this time by, probably not. As Jimbo, I don't know if Jimbo's going to be able to make this overtake going into 1. That was a good battle the first time around. Jimbo had that line really well. Someone's going to be exiting the pit lane here. I believe that's a Williams of Sadistic King. Yeah, I believe so.
And we have our first soft runner into the pits. It's going to be Scavney. He is going to be changing over to a medium tire as JC moves himself up into 8th position, or not quite, going for a move on the Best Bonds, but then the Best Bonds came back at him, and JC going back at him again and up into 8th place. But the Best Bonds is going to have the DRS on him on both this straight and the next straight as well, so he's going to have to watch out and try to pull out a gap between the two of them. But wow, so far, lap 7, 22 more laps to go, and we've got a lot of action going on track.
Here we go, we got Jimbo and Razor guy. Jimbo's within half a second, he's going to have the DRS this time. Oh, he gets loose off the corner. Oh, and that is not what Jimbo needed. He had such a good run going on him throughout that whole Sector 2, and then just sliding out of the exit at turn 10. So we're going to keep an eye on him. JC's done well to keep himself within striking distance now. He's up to 8th after starting... He started up 8. Well, yeah, he has gained 6 spots since the beginning of this race, starting at 14th, so good start for him as well. And he's surely been wanting to push those medium tires as 2 cars have pit so far, 2-3 cars have pit, so I think the majority of these leaders are going to stay out. I think at least another lap is our leader. As I say that, Jada to win it has just come in.
And Jimbo is following him in as well, so Razor Guy is going to inherit the lead, and there goes Super Ninjas and Forza Juve, sorry. I was trying to pronounce his name there, but I was just going to say before they pitted that the top 5 people were in the exact same positions they started this race in, and then they all are following the exact same strategy here right now. It looks like Jimbo has put on a set of softs. It looks like most of them have put on soft tires. So an interesting strategy. They're going for the two-stop for sure. They want to be quick right now. So let's see how that works out. JC now up into third place with that medium set of tires still on his car. So he might become a real big danger now in the overall standings for the end of this race.
And K-Dog's found herself up in the 8th. Hasn't pit yet, still on 7-lap-old mediums, but she's got a lot of people ahead of her that also haven't pit, as we have Saffron City also hasn't pit yet. Janet trying to get around Sui here, possibly within this, coming out of turn 10. Yep, Sui's going to get really wide in turn 10, and Janet's going to make overtake very easily. Though this is going to be a side-by-side battle down the straight, and looks like Janet's going to get that position really well. Almost cuts right in front of Sui. Almost gets a little bit of contact there, but he's done it cleanly.
And there we go, Janet up into 5th place now. Sweet down to 6th, has not made a stop in this race just yet. Neither has Razor Guy, Detail, or the best spawns. So, oh, there goes Razor Guy into the pits now after 8 laps. And Detail is going to continue on for another lap. So he's not pitting yet. He's going on a little bit of a different turn of strategy here on the rest of the soft runners. Let's see if that's going to work out for him. Let's see if the overcut or the undercut is going to be better here tonight. But the Razor Guy is following suit with his teammate. He's putting on the medium tire. He's not going for the soft like the other guy. He's going to come out in 9th place, right behind K-Dog there. So it looks like, you know, he's made a pretty good call in terms of strategy, but he's still going to have a lot of work to do here if he wants to recover those positions.
So Detail and JC Blackley currently find themselves first and second. Detail's on 8-lap-old softs currently. I assume he's going to be pitting this time by. As we got Janet back in third, who's just put on the mediums. JC, who started on the mediums, I think he might be able to fit a pair of softs here. Possibly. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. So who else we got? We got a close battle between Forza Juve and I believe Saffron City. Might be getting into it here. Yeah, and Super Davis is right there as well. This is a 3-car battle for 5th. Let's see if Forza Juve can get the overtake as Saffron City also has the DRS going into 11. This is going to be a close one here. And Juve is going to get that position. Oh, I think he may have made contact with Saffron. Saffron's gone really wide outside the track. And then Razor Guy is going to come in and try to get a position as well. Yeah, Razor Guy is going to take 7. So I don't know. It may have been a little controversial there, whereas Forza Juve really just kind of got to the left-hand side of Saffron. But he's got the overtake for now. And he's starting to close in on Super Davis as well. So good stuff from here. Saffron trying to make a move on Razor Guy, possibly within this DRS. So I don't think it's going to be close enough.
Yeah, that was an interesting move there from Forza when he was making his overtake on Saffron. It was a little bit of a bang of tires, but honestly, that was just a racing incident. I wouldn't put blame on anyone for that one. That was really good racing, and that's exactly what we're here to see. 3-second penalty now to JC Blackley for multiple warnings, so that might hinder down a little bit in this race. He's been on a really good recovery of positions after not really having the best qualifying, but with this alternate strategy from the medium tires, he's gained a lot of positions when the rest of the guys on the softs had to pit. So right now running in 2nd place, but that 3-second penalty unfortunately definitely gonna hurt him a little bit there. Detail still leading this race in on the soft tire, 7.4 seconds ahead of JC. So not a pretty, not a bad run so far on these soft tires, but he's definitely gonna have to come off of them pretty soon, unless he's doing an incredible job of managing them, and maybe he can pull them off to about lap 11 or 12. Let's see if he's gonna pit on this lap. I'm really interested to see that. And no, he's continuing on. So maybe he is feeling that these tires are still doing some good times. They're holding on, so he might be okay. Here comes Janet on JC Blackley on the start finish straight with the DRS open, and that's going to be 2nd place, but technically net 1st place for Janet to win it in this Grand Prix here tonight in round 6 of Division 2 at Bahrain. It's been quite exciting so far. We are almost halfway through the race here. We're only on lap 11 now of 29, and a lot of action going on, as I've already mentioned a couple of times here tonight. Hotspot, your impressions with the race so far, who are you still keeping an eye on?
Well, I tell you what here, I don't think Detail's going to lose too many positions when he comes in. I think I think he's going to stay within the top 10, as you see a couple cars in the top 10 still need to pit. Detail still needs to pit. JC, Saffron City, and K-Dog K, they all need to pit still on the 10-lap old tires. Currently, I still wonder if anybody's going to be able to stop Janet, as I think he's just made up over a second and a half within those last couple corners on first place Detail. So I'm not sure what's kind of going through Detail's head. I mean, I'm not going to diss the strategy yet, because right now it's doing him okay. I think just in his case, he's going to want to come out within the top 10, because Mercedes need that result. As I think we've got a battle going on for 9th and 10th right now. Yes, we do. A 3-car battle for up to 8th. Oh, and someone's almost gone off behind him. I think K-Dog, I think she got really loose coming out of turn 11. Almost lost the car, but has kept it right there. What else are we going on? Forza Juve might be making a move on Super Ninas very shortly, who Super Ninas is starting to close line clear, almost within a second, as I think the next DRS zone is going to get it, as Saffron City has just overtaken K-Dog. So yeah, I mean, this track is going to be really interesting to see, as Detail has stayed out again. He's not exactly putting any more time on Janet. I mean, Janet's on 3-lap old medium, so I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to diss the strategy, because hey, he might come out with a solid result here, especially if there's another safety car or something. JC, that's unfortunate for him. He's got the penalty. I mean, that's going to be a killer. Though, let's see, he's only 3 seconds, so theoretically he could start to pull Jimbo, but again, JC still has to come in, so interesting stuff here for sure. This has been a solid start to this race. And so we already have, oh, never mind, that's the other division. I was going to say, we had steward reports already going to the Discord, but that's Division 1, so I'm not going to pay attention to that.
No, I don't think I've seen any major incidents, really, or any major contact between anyone here tonight, and that is really, great job to all of the drivers. This is a very tight track, especially when you're trying to overtake it to turn 10 or somewhere else, and you can definitely come together with another car here pretty easily. But so far tonight, these guys are doing an incredible job. They're putting on a great show for us. And I'm watching a Super Ninas right now, closing up to Jimbo Fishing, putting on some pressure, but then going a little bit too wide there through the exit of the last corner. And there goes Detail into the pits now, and he is going to go. Yeah, and the Detail's going to go for the hard tire, so that means he's taking that one most likely until the end of this race. That's going to be very exciting to see. So again, we've got a little bit of a mix of strategies. JC is going for a hard tire as well. They're going to come out in, looks like, in about 8th and 9th or so. Yeah, there goes Detail. He slides in between Domingos and K-Dog into 8th place on a fresh set of hard tires to go until the end of the race. 16 laps to go, should be enough. We'll see how many positions he'll be able to recover. But pretty much everyone in front of him is most likely going to pit. I mean, with the exception of a Razor guy who's only on a 3-lap old medium tire, and possibly Jinnit, because, well, he's just doing an incredible job right now, and he could possibly, manage those tires. But I feel like, Jimbo, Super Ninas, Forza, and Domingos, they're all gonna have to pit. So Detail is guaranteed to be in 3rd at minimum.
And I tell you what, Detail, yeah, he's done himself a great job. As I was talking about, that strategy could have worked, and it certainly did. He's found himself 8th currently. Got himself a little bit of a cushion on K-Dog, who she's currently 2 seconds behind. And he's starting to put the work on Domingos. No, maybe not yet. No, eventually, yeah, he's less than a second behind currently based on my score. Actually, no, he's not. He's 2 seconds behind. I'm looking at the wrong set of drivers, but we got Super Ninas in the Renault. Now, what a showing he's had currently in the podium position. He's going to make a pass for 2nd place. Oh, he may have cut the corner just a little bit more than he probably should have. No penalty, though, and Jimbo is going to somehow keep that position. But Super Ninas is going to have the DRS this time by. Now, this is going to be an exciting battle to watch right here. As, let's see what Super Ninas does. He's going to have... No, he's going to play conservative for now, hoping that Jimbo... I think he's going to be looking for turn 10 right now. I'll tell you what, I'm going to recommend him as Forza Juve, who's had, I would say, a dream. I don't think this is a debut for him. Well, it might be, but either way, he's had a really solid day in that Haas team. He's going to notch that Haas team at the moment, their highest finish of the year. And so here we go into turn 10. Super Ninas, is Jimbo going to get a good line? The answer is yes, he does, actually. Pretty solid from him. Forza Juve might have a run at Super Ninas here very shortly, so very tightly contested this battle for 3rd. for second.
It looks like Scavney is now lining up or trying to line up a move on his teammate on Domingo. This could turn out to be either really well or really ugly, because the two of them right now are leading the championship as the constructor. Scavney right now in the championship lead as a driver, not doing a very good job here tonight. I mean, the qualifying definitely held them back a little bit. I think both of them qualified quite low, but it looks like Domingo is going to move over. Is he going to let Scavney go by? Yes, he is. So that is going to be a team call there. They don't want to battle it out. They want to gain as many positions and as many points here tonight as possible. I'm looking at Forza as he's trying to make a move on Super Ninjas, but going into turn 1 there, he was going a little bit too ambitious and then had to correct himself after, so he drops back by a couple of tenths, and he's going to have to try again.
And I tell you what, Forza's doing a really good job. Super Ninja's actually doing a really good, being under pressure for these past couple laps. So he's doing a great job of holding that line. But I gotta say, this pit strategy between the Ferrari team has actually worked pretty well, because I think Razor would be quite happy with a top 5 finish right now. Hopefully a podium. I think he could maybe. Nah, I think it's still a bit far to take the mediums to the end. I know the guys on the softs are going to have an even tougher time, as we've got someone going off. That is C. Freeman. Well, something's happened to him. He's way off. I tell you what's happened. He's hit that curb going through 12, and he's spun around as he is right over there. As he's going to have to let these leaders go by here. And by leaders, I just mean Jinnit, because he's got about 10 seconds gap between him and Jimbo. But, yeah, this battle for second here is certainly going to be heating up within these next couple laps, as we have the McLaren team as well. I tell you what, they've had themselves a pretty solid day, and they haven't made up too many positions, but I tell you what, that Williams team has suffered this race, really finding themselves in 13th and 17th respectively. This is not the day that they would have wanted, as of course Yume's going to get that overtake on
Jimbo's into the pits.
Oh, Jimbo's into the pits. Oh, okay. I was on a different part of the track. Okay. So we got Jimbo taking his, I believe this is his second stop, which I think he's one of the only people to do that so far, as I should have the detail. There we go. Yep, so he's going to be the first taker on the second stop, so it's going to be interesting for him to see if he can.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting now that the second round of pit stops is coming around. This is where the guys on the alternate strategy are possibly going to gain some positions if they played it right, or they kept their tires alive and they can put in some good laps as the other guys go into the pits. That can really help them out, and then they can mix it up right at the top there and give the other guys a hard time. We're gonna have to wait and see if they can make that happen. Right now we've got still Super Ninjas and Forza Juve at the top 3 that have to make another pit stop, but the timing of that pit stop is gonna be very crucial. The other thing is they have gone from soft to soft, so the only tires they've now got left are going to be the mediums and the hard tires. They're probably going to choose the medium to go until the end of the race, but it's still going to be, you're still going to have to manage those tires. They're not just going to last you very nicely and comfortably until the end of the race. You're still going to have to manage them. And here comes Forza and Super Ninjas, both into the pits right now, both following each other, and that is the two Ferraris back into first and second place again, matching up on the strategies between the two of them on those medium tires. What are Super Ninjas and Forza going to do? They're both going on to the medium tires as well. They're going to stay in the same positions that they were at before. The gap between them is really tiny as they're going to come out now. And there's a virtual safety car.
Saffron City, that's the Williams of Saffron City is going way off. I think he's also just kind of hit the curb in turn 12. That is not what they needed at all. As, yeah, you can see him. He's right there. And I think he must have lost a wheel or something, because he is DNF'd. But I just want to bring it back to the detail currently on the hard tires. He's the only person in the top 7 with the hards on. He was the only on the top 10 until Best Bonds and JC made their way up to it. I'm still going to be looking at the Razor guy, though. I bet you he's going to be pitting a lap earlier than Jinnit. I don't know how much they have the pit strategy ironed out between the two of them, but if I was Razor guy right now, I'd be pitting within these next 2 laps, because I don't think Jinnit's going to be taking too much. I don't think Jinnit's going to be pitting earlier than he needs to right now, so I think he's just going to be chilling up there in first as he can. As Scavney, look at him, he's made his way up into third, though he still needs to pit as well as the rest of the top three. So this is going to be interesting. I'm still looking at detail. He's made his way up into fourth on the hards, though I don't know how those are going to fare with the mediums towards the end of the race. That's going to be a tough thing for him. But I tell you what, he's had a solid day, and we'll see if he can keep that going.
Wow, yeah, so that second virtual safety car that we've had in this race so far. Haven't had a full safety car yet, but you never know, that might still happen. We still got 11 laps to go as we are back under green flag racing here, and yeah, there's still a lot going on. There's still a lot up in the grabs in this race. I mean, Ginnett and Razor both have quite big gaps behind them. They also have quite big gaps between themselves. 10.7 seconds from Ginnett to Razor, and 11.3 from Razor to Scavney. So big gaps there. Scavney is on 10 lap old mediums, Razor is on 8 lap old mediums, and Ginnett is on 9 lap old mediums. So those three guys, I mean, for sure they're gonna have to pit another 11 laps, 21 laps on a medium tire. I don't think that's gonna be possible on F1 2020, at least not with the tire management abilities that we have. So I think, yeah, I mean, this could.
He's swerved. Scavney's swerved big time coming out of turn 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Detail's gonna have a solid run on him.
Exactly.
I mean, Scavney's on the oldest tires in the field right now. So this is King back in 16th. As Ginnett in, I mean, he's had a pretty solid day considering that he started back in 9th place, has found himself up in the third. I still think Detail could have a shot, at least for the podium. Maybe the win if he keeps this, if he keeps the same kind of strategy and same pace going. Yeah, I think he's going to get the move on Scavney this time by one, and yes, he does, with still room to spare going into the corner. So I think Detail might have actually won the strategy war this race because he has found himself up into third.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. I think Detail has just done an incredible job of playing the strategy to his absolute advantage here tonight. And once Razor and Ginnett make their pit stops, even though he's 23 seconds behind the leader, so that's gonna put him right there, right in front or right behind Ginnett as Ginnett's gonna exit the pits. So it's gonna be very close. And of course, considering that Ginnett's gonna be on a brand new set of most likely soft tires because he's kept that second set until the end, it could still be anybody's game here tonight. I mean, Detail is doing everything he needs to do at this point, but I think it's going to really come down to the last, 8 or 9 laps or so.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, I mean, this has been a solid race. I mean, also, if we're talking about strategy as well, JC, he's made himself up 7 positions, though he does have the penalty. I don't think he's going to have anything to worry about, as I think, let's see here, both JC and Best Pawns have 3-second penalties, so I mean, I tell you what, it's not too bad. If I was JC, I think I'd be quite happy with this race, actually. But here's Scavney. He might be making a move on Detail through this DRS zone as he's closed the gap within half a second. Detail's done a great job getting past him. But yeah, as you said, this is going to be an absolute race coming out of pit road, especially for Ginnett. I think Scavney's actually just gone past him. Oh, it's a side-by-side battle to turn 1. Scavney's going to get that overtake. Nicely done from him. But yeah, this is going to be an absolute battle coming out of the pits between this top 4 right now.
And I feel like Scavney is really he's in a losing battle here as Detail tries to make an overtake, but he goes a little bit wide for turn 4. Scavney loses.
Really loose right there.
Yeah, he just lost the back of the car there, and Detail is up into 3rd place. And I was gonna say, Scavney doesn't really have anything to fight for right now. He's just destroying his tires in the process, and he's gonna have to pit anyways. He's the one, as you mentioned, running on the oldest set of tires, except for the Haas in 13th place, or in 12th place now, as Xui goes into the pits and puts on a used set of medium tires. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, that's a Renault. That was the best Bonds there.
I'm not really sure what's happened. He spun off in a very strange part of the track. Maybe he lost it on the exit of 8. But I think think if I'm Scavney right now, I would just throw the original strategy out the window. I'd be pitting along with Bennett Razor Guy.
Yeah.
Whenever either one of them pit, I think if I were with him right now, I'd be doing that just because, honestly, being in the pits with them at the same time, that's going to be, I mean, the gap's pretty far behind, but as I said, he's going to be making a move on Detail right now. Yeah, this has been a solid battle the whole race, these two, and I tell you what, Detail's putting on a solid showing for Mercedes, who desperately need good finishes right now.
Yeah, Detail moving up from Division 3 up into Division 2 and doing an incredible job here as he's lining up another move around the outside of Turn 4 or onto Scavney. They're going to be side by side, but Scavney's still holding on to third place. Scavney's going to hold on to the inside line into the next couple of corners there. And again, he's going to have to pit in the next couple of laps most likely, so Detail's still going to get that position, but this battle is not helping any one of them out right now. Look at that. Razor and Jinnit, 26 seconds ahead.
Really wide at the entrance of that corner, turn 10. He's almost lost that spot to Jimbo. That's going to be very close.
Jimbo is right there with the DR. Oh, no, he did not get the DRS on this occasion, so I guess in the detection zone, he was not within the second, but Detail locked up there, as you mentioned, and he's actually lost out on the DRS of Scavney now, and he's got to deal with Jimbo catching up right to the back wing. Well, he's also on a medium tire. There goes Jinnit into the pits right now, putting on a soft tire to go until the end. Only 7 laps to go. Razor is going to take that lead. How far away is going to be Scavney and Detail when Jinnit is going to exit the pits? Jinnit is just coming out to the exit of the pits right now.
Scavney's coming in now.
Oh, and Scavney is coming in now, so there we go. So where's Detail going to end up? No, Detail is still going to be very, very far behind, as he's also going to be still behind Jimbo. So he's doing a good job right now strategy, but it looks like maybe 4th or 3rd is going to be really what he's going to be battling for here tonight. Let's not forget, though, Razor Guy is still going to have to make his pit stop as well. And where he's going to come out, that's going to really decide how far Detail can take it here tonight. But what an incredible job he's done in this race. Absolutely amazing.
I tell you what, Detail, it probably won't happen, but I think he could theoretically make a stop along with the Razor Guy on the same lap and maybe put on a set of mediums and be okay, because you got JC back in 6th, who's on 8-lap old hards. You have Best Bonds on 12-lap old hards. So, I mean, this strategy isn't bad for Detail. I just think right now it's starting to look a little bit more risky, but we're going to get a taste of his defensive driving as Super Ninas is now within that 1 second little bracket there, as I think Super Ninas may have had a wiggle coming out of turn 11. But yeah, as you said, Detail's having himself a solid day. I'll tell you what, I'm still waiting on Razor Guy, though, as Razor Guy's going to be coming in this lap. Ooh, and he locked up going into the pits, and somehow he saved himself from a penalty. That was a close call there.
Super Nina is also very impressive in tonight's race here right now in 5th position. He's about to gain a position on Razor Guy as they're going to pass him in the pits. Razor Guy's going to be coming out pretty close, but no, they're definitely going to overtake him. So Detail moves up into 3rd. Super Nina's in 4th. Razor Guy on a brand new set of soft tires, but he's going to be about 6 seconds behind and is going to have to catch up a bunch of positions if he wants to end up back in that 2nd place that he was in for so long. So if he loses out on the podium here tonight because of his strategy, I'm sure he's going to be absolutely fuming with his decision. But somehow that same strategy worked out for Jinnit really, really well. And that's going to be really an interesting, analysis to go through that at the end of the race and try to figure out what really played onto that. How did the same strategy play so much better to Jinnit's hands than it did to Razor Guy? I bet it might have to do something with the fact that they had about 11 seconds in between them when they made their pit stops, and also maybe with the pit stop times. Oh, it's Domingo!
That's Domingo's. Oh, that is not what the McLaren team needed at all. That is a tough break for him. He's in a very peculiar spot here. He's found himself at the inside of the... Oh, he's going to come out in front of Happy Ass Boy. Or again. Oof, that gave me flashbacks of the F2 Singapore race not too long ago. But personally, I think Razor Guy may have actually just won this pit strategy because he's now taken a second off that gap, just going through sectors 2 and 3. And so I think he may have actually done a good job here. His detail, he's going to have a hard time getting past Super Ninas. Though he's going to try it going into turn 1. It's going to be close. Is he going to get it? Yeah, he's got that line. Super Ninas has gone really wide on the corner. Detail is not really taking a great line there. He's gone way over the curve in turn 1 and actually hurt himself here. This Razor Guy is now within 2.5 seconds. I think Razor Guy might have a very solid shot at the podium here very shortly. He's still got 5 laps to do so, and he is trimming time off of this gap back to detail. So this is going to be a close one, specifically for this 3rd spot.
Well, I'm really excited to see how this one is going to end up. As you mentioned, 5 laps to go, lap 24 of 29 right now in this round 6 of Division 2 in Midwest F1. And what a race this has been so far. It's been very clean overall. We only have the 3 DNFs of Torro, we have C. Freeman and Saffron City, who have had a couple of unfortunate incidents, and those guys are the 3 DNFs, but still 16 people standing. Of course, with the point system that this league has, it means that all of them are going to get some points for their teams here tonight, and that is also very exciting. But detail, Razor Guy is right on his wing right now. He is closing up. He's within the DRS zone. Oh, and it looks like the Haas, they're getting a 3-second time penalty. Another yellow flag through Sector 1 and 2. Nothing major going on though. Let's watch the Razor Guy going for the move on detail here before turn 1. That's going to be an easy overtake around the outside, and that is P4 for Razor Guy. Still got 4 laps to go, but still got a few cars between himself and Jimbo, who he wants to overtake before he can get that P2 again.
I tell you what, I think if I was Razor Guy right now, I think right now he was absolutely trimming time between him and detail. I think Super Ninas is going to be next here within these next 2 laps. I think honestly, if I was Razor Guy right now, I'd be really happy with 3rd position considering that. I think on the first stop, he really took the fall for Jinnit as well. Like that strategy, Jinnit coming in first, that was built for him. I don't want to say specifically, but I mean, it really didn't help Razor Guy that much. But I tell you what here, he might be making the move on Super Ninas very shortly. He's going to have to DRS this time by. Is he going to get it? I still get a little bit of a gap, but yeah, I tell you what, if I was Razor Guy right now, I'd be really happy with 3rd place. As for detail, I mean, he's lost some positions, but I tell you what, 5th place, I wouldn't be angry with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, he did take the fall for his teammate having to do the overcut instead of the undercut. That was really, looks like really worked out for a lot of drivers here tonight. But also the pit strategy mix has been incredible to watch. Detail getting up in the mix, Super Ninas and Jimbo Fishing doing an incredible job here tonight. All of them on different strategies, all of them pitting at different times. Here comes Razor Guy on Super Ninas. It's a safety car! A safety car on lap 26!
No way, that's Canucks' way off over his Sector 2. I think he may have made contact with Tim Lee. Goodness me now. Whew. I honestly don't know how, if we're going to get the race under the, or if we're going to have a restart after the safety car comes in, because it's going to be really close. We only got 3 laps to go. Whew, this was a big wrench into things. Now, I tell you what, if we do get the field stacked up in time, Razor Guy is currently on the newest tires in the top 4, so he could have a shot, only by a lap, on Jinnit. But I tell you what, the Razor Guy is sitting pretty right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean,
JC's just picked up another penalty for something. What has JC picked up a penalty for? He's just, I don't know, but he's exceptionally slow going for turn 1. But, anyways.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, this safety car has just fallen into Razor Guy's lap. This is just absolutely the best thing that could have possibly happened to him. Not such a great thing for Jinnit, who was about 15 seconds ahead of the nearest guy to him. So now he's gonna lose all of that gap. He's gonna be under a little bit of pressure from, as you mentioned, Razor Guy, and possibly even Jimbo and Super Ninas. It all really depends on the restart and how he decides to play that off.
Coming in.
Oh, Jinnit's
coming into the pits.
Jinnit is coming in. Strategy. He's got quite a bit of a gap, and these guys are still on the Delta as well.
Man.
Let's see.
Oh, is Jimbo gonna get out? Oh, it's gonna be really close as well.
This is definitely gonna be close.
Jimbo's come in as well.
Jimbo and Super Ninas. So Razor Guy is continuing.
Oh, this is interesting. Oh my, he's that. I'm not sure what to make of that as well. As Jinnit's just put on fresh softs. Jimbo's just put on fresh medium. Super Ninas has put on fresh softs. Details put on softs. A lot of people coming into the pits. That is quite an interesting turn of events there, to say the least. Though I think right now, if I'm Janet to win it, this is very reminiscent of last week at Austria. He is certainly not looking to accidentally cut a corner or whatever happened to him, because he got a penalty on the last lap. I think he was just trying to... Well, I'm not entirely sure what happened to him, but he somehow got a penalty on that last lap and cost himself the race. But right now, I mean, the Razor guy is right there. He's going to have to do some defensive driving on his teammate, which, that's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Jinnit has so much pace tonight that this is going to make Razor guys work a little bit tougher than he can possibly imagine. But either way, either order they finish in here tonight, if, you know, Razor is first, Jinnit is first, and Razor is second, it doesn't matter. This is going to be a huge performance for Ferrari, a huge rebound from the first couple of races that they've had, and now, you know, for the Constructors Championship, Jinnit is going to be in a great position for the overall standings as well. But look at Scavney. He did not pit under the safety car. He's now in 4th place on a set of soft tires. Jimbo only had the medium tire to put on his stop, so a little bit of a difference in compounds, and safety cars coming in on this lap. So safety car has only done the 2 laps around because we've only really got 2 more laps to go here. That is a really good feature. I actually like that about the safety car, and we're gonna get racing here in a second. I'm gonna stay on board with Jimbo or Jinnit here, and I'm gonna watch to see what's gonna happen, because this restart could really decide the end results here. Ooh, that was really close between Jimbo and Scavney, as the safety car is not even into the pits yet. And there we go. It looks like we're going to restart right now.
Oh,
yes, we do.
So what has happened there?
Razor guy did not have a good restart. Oh no! And that was a big touch with Jinnit, and oh my god!
Jimbo's going around right in front of everybody. The battle for the lead is still there. Scavney's found himself up in a second. There's Jinnit. He's dropped back to 3rd. Scavney's almost collected everybody. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Jinnit's gone off. Jinnit's spun coming out of 3.
Oh my god, Jinnit!
JC Blackley's found himself up into 2nd. I can't believe this. What has just happened on that start?
Oh, and more happening! More happening! Super Ninas and Detail!
No! Oh, 3 cars.
And they just collected another car as well. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. There's just absolute carnage on the restart here on the last couple of laps. Forza Juve up into 4th place, Scavney up into 3rd, JC Blackley up into 2nd place. Razor guy still holding on to the lead after the restart. Absolutely incredible. I have no idea what happened there.
Something has happened to him, because someone made a touch with him, and then Jimbo went around and straight. Somehow Jimbo's kept 6th. I feel bad for Detail as well. He was having a really good race, and Jinnit's just retired from the session, apparently.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know if that's actually real or not. Best Bonds just picked up a penalty. Not what he needed at all. Jimbo's found himself back to 7th. He's gone really wide. I think he might have some wing damage. Yes, he does. Jimbo's missing half a wing here. Meanwhile, yeah, Forza Juve has found himself back up into 4th. JC's found himself up into 2nd. I don't know if interval hasn't shown up yet. So JC still has the 3 seconds of penalty. That's going to be a close one, because he's almost got 2 seconds. He's got 2.5 seconds on Scavney, but look at him. He's almost right up against the Razor guy. He's on 3-lap fresher tires. JC Blackley might be making a pass for the lead here very shortly, despite the penalty.
This is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe what just happened here on this restart. It looked like, from my perspective, that Razor guy didn't get a good restart. Jinnit, to win it, went for the overtake. All of a sudden, he decided to jerk to the left there, made contact with, I think it was I think it was Jimbo, right? Or somebody. He made contact. He went crashing off. He had a really awkward rejoin and then crash off with another car. There was Super Ninas and a Detail that crashed together as well. And all of that was just happening at the same time. So it was really hard to keep up. But somehow JC Blackley managed to get around all the carnage, jumped himself up into 2nd place. He's right on the tail of Razor Guy. We're on the last lap. We're coming up to the last 2 corners right now, and this has just been an unbelievable race. One of the most exciting races I have seen in this league so far, and definitely an incredible race for my first showing here in Division 2, and it's going to be Razor Guy for the win, JC with second, and Scavney with third, and this might just be enough for Scavney to hold on to a little bit of a lead in this championship in this season. Forza in fourth. That is incredible for Haas. The best Pawns in fifth position. Domingo in sixth. Super Ninjas in seventh. Jimbo in eighth. K-Dog is going to finish in ninth here, but a great performance for Razor Guy, a great performance for the McLarens and the Renault team, both of them up there in the top 7, getting some good points for their teams. Wow, what a finish. This has been such a dramatic finish.
So I'm looking at the Discord right now. We've got we're going to get Razor Guy in here for a post-race interview very shortly. I just want to go over what the Discord's talking about. We got Jinnit saying slowing down, and then I think he must have made contact with Super Ninjas, because that is certainly what he's upset about. But I'm gonna try to invite Razor Guy to this party and hopefully get an interview for him. But yeah, you stay on. That was a good race, and JC certainly taking the cake on the strategy. That was just wow. I'm speechless at the moment.
I'm there with you. I don't even know what to say. I called everything absolutely wrong in the last 10 laps or so. I mean, I thought that Razor Guy has put himself into a tough position, but clearly Razor Guy was in the best position on that restart and managed to avoid the carnage, managed to hold JC back. But what a performance for JC as he gets driver of the day and P2 after starting way down the field in P14. That is an amazing recovery. Absolutely unbelievable. Scavney from P9 to P3. Forza moving up a position to P4. Best Pawns recovering from 11th to P5. Domingo from 8th to 6th. Super Ninjas, unfortunately, having that incident right towards the end with Detail, and he drops down to from 4th to 7th place. K-Dog recovering from 13th to 8th. Xsoy from 6th to 9th place at the end there. Jimbo Fishing in 10th, Sadistic in 11th, Detail in 12th, unfortunately, after that last minute incident there at the end of the race. Edeltonian 13th, the Haas in 14th there, Ginnett to win it in 15th. Knuckles did not finish the race. Actually, Ginnett to win it, unfortunately, did not finish as well. Saffron, C. Freeman, and Tear the Terror have all DNF'd from the race, but wow. I mean, that late safety car, I knew it was going to shake things up, but I did not expect such a massive shakeup from the field. And I mean, people moving up positions, moving down positions, crashing out of the race. It was happening so fast that it was really, really hard to stay on top of. But wow, I mean, again, for Division 2, Round 6, and for my first race with this division, absolutely incredible.
We got the, what do you call it? Oh, I thought you were closing it out, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that.
Oh, no,
we've got
no.
the Razor Guy in us in the party right now. I mean, Razor Guy, what a win for you, man. You want to take us through the restart on the safety car? That was hectic to say the least. I mean, what happened there with Jinnit? I mean, because there was a lot of shuffling around after that. I'm not entirely sure what happened, so just take us through that real quick.
Wow, and
me. So I mean, the strategy really came in, into your favor tonight. I was really questioning it sometimes because I was like, you know, he's found himself behind Jinnit, and Jinnit's got like the fresher tires, but towards the end it started to pay off for you. So I mean, how do you think you managed your tire strategy tonight?
Wow.
So one more before you go here. I mean, these past couple weeks have been tough for you. I remember France was a little tough, but I mean, you've certainly been showing a steady increase in form. And next week we head into Mexico and then China after. So I mean, these next couple of races, surely your confidence got to be really high for them, haven't they?
Well, Razor Guy, congratulations, man. What a win here tonight. That was an incredible drive from you. Like I was saying right before you joined into the party, I got all of my predictions absolutely wrong when you were coming out of that pit stop. You know, I thought you put yourself in a really tough position, but all of a sudden it absolutely turned and fell into your lap. But you definitely had to fight for this one here tonight. So congratulations on this win. Amazing drive.
Absolutely, well done, man.
All right, so are we gonna get P2 and P3 in here, or do we just talk to the winner on this one?
This is actually our first time doing a post-race
Okay.
interview, so maybe in future weeks we can get the other two positions in
Yeah.
here, but we did not plan that far,
No
unfortunately.
problem. Yeah, it's something that I usually do with most of my commentary. It's really nice to hear from the drivers at the end. But thank you so much for Razor Guy for joining for the post-race commentary. That was great to hear from you. Again, good luck for the rest of the season here. But I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the drivers here tonight for putting on such an incredible show in this race. It was absolutely unbelievable, especially towards the end there with all the drama that happened. Huge thank you to Hotspot. Thank you so much for having me over here in the
Oh,
commentary booth.
absolutely, man. This has been an absolute. This has actually been. This went really, really good, and hopefully we get to do this again next week. As I'm sure, I'm not sure if the new Div 3 guy is full time or not, but if so, I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. I like this. I like this little team up here. So yeah, absolutely. We will see you guys next week in Mexico.
Yeah, I'd love to be here next week and love to do this again. It was a lot of fun. Hotspot, thanks again for having me. And yeah, thanks to everybody who's been watching. Before you leave us a like. Subscribe to my channel if you like, so you can stay up on Midwest F1 for the next week as well. I'll be back here either with Division 2 or Division 3, but Division 2, this championship is just starting to heat up right now. The battle at the front is absolutely incredible, and that's exactly what we saw here tonight. So thanks again to everybody who's been watching. Thank you, Hotspot. Thank you to Midwest F1 for organizing everything, and thank you to all the drivers driving here tonight in Division 2. We will see you guys next week from BLIN-MACHINE and Hotspot. Have yourselves a great night.
See you, everybody.